Hello, everybody. Welcome back to our Geeky Clinicians Podcast. On today's episode of Geeky Clinicians Podcast, we have the honor and privilege of having Dr. Derek Collins on with us today, and I'll introduce him in a second. But as always, I am your chief geek, Dr. Deborah Dantzler with Geeky Clinicians and 3D Psychotherapy. And I'm going to let the other Geeky Clinicians introduce themselves and we'll get started.
Hey everybody, I'm Jacinta. I am lead therapist at 3D and lead geek.
Hi, I'm Sandra, and I am a PMRP. And right now I'm going into my third year, so my anniversary is up soon.
All right, welcome. And so today on this episode of Geeky Clinicians Podcast, we have Dr. Derek Collins, who is the founder and CEO of the Diversion Center. Dr. Derek Collins is a nationally respected educator, entrepreneur, and behavioral health authority with over a decade of experience in addiction counseling, court-mandated programming, and social emotional learning. As the founder and CEO of the Diversion Center based in Marietta, Georgia, Dr. Collins has built a leading outpatient treatment and training facility that specializes in court-approved classes, evaluations, workforce development, and rehabilitation services for justice-involved individuals. He holds credentials as a certified employee assistance professional, a CEAP, certified alcohol and drug counselor 2, CADC 2, certified anger management specialist, substance abuse professional, SAP, medication assisted treatment specialist, MATS, certified gun violence intervention specialist, CGVIS. His deep clinical knowledge combined with real world application positions him as a national leader in behavioral health reform and professional training. Dr. Collins is also the creator of Gifted and Lit, an award-winning educational brand that merges hip-hop, academics, personal development. His animated series, early childhood curriculum, and workbooks have been used in homes, schools, and childcare centers across the country to inspire learning and build character. Oh, welcome, Dr. Collins. We're so excited to have you here today.
Great. Thank you. Thank you. Happy to be here.
So you and I met about a year and a half or 2 years ago at a conference, and we were talking, and you were telling me a little bit about your journey and what you do at the Diversion Center, and I was like, we've got to have you as a guest on the Geeky Clinicians Podcast. So super excited to see this come to fruition. And so, here at Geeky Clinicians, one of the things that we do is we always want to know, what's your origin story, right? We go all the way back. How did you get interested in, start, develop, and become the national expert in behavioral health and learning that you are today? Tell us your origin story.
Oh my goodness. So let's go back. Let's go back in time. So about 20 years ago, I got busted for selling bootleg DVDs and CDs in Atlanta. I was a CD man, I used to be one of them water boys too, out there selling water on the street. But this is I was doing this out of necessity. But I was selling after I got off work, after working at the restaurant, I would go out and sell CDs and DVDs. That was my little side hustle to make some extra money. And then I got busted. I got smart with a cop in front of a whole bunch of people because I had a big ego back then. And I was young and dumb and, and I got locked up and ended up entering a pretrial diversion program. And they tested me for drugs, of course, and I tested positive for cocaine. And I had to enter 6 months of alcohol and drug counseling, outpatient therapy, and I ended up liking it. And I said, hey, I can do this. I was like, and my drug counselor, he kept on trying to talk me out of it. I'm like, dude, I want to do this. He's like, nah, you don't want to do this. I'm like, yes, I do. I know this is my jam. because I'd already graduated. I already had my degree in psychology, and I was just trying to find my way. And I didn't have a mentor or anything or anyone to guide me. So when I got in trouble, it was actually a blessing in disguise.
Mm-hmm.
So I found my passion. I found out what I want to do. I said, "There's no one better than teach this stuff than me. I know what it's like to do drugs and be involved in all kinds of stuff." So I said, "Let me go ahead and do it." And then fast forward, some years later, I worked at a couple of treatment facilities, and one of the guys at the treatment facility, he opened up a DUI school and told me, "Hey, if I was ever looking for an opportunity to hit him up." I reached out to him. He gave me the opportunity to teach at his DUI school. I started teaching defensive driving courses. Then I started teaching DUI courses. I got those certifications under my belt. And then I started contracting at other DUI schools. And I started making a whole bunch of people a lot of money. And because a lot of people come to me for my classes, they like my classes. So I said, you know what? I'm making all these guys all this money and I'm getting paid peanuts. So let me do something on my own. I've always wanted to do it on my own. So let me just stretch myself and get established. And I started I want to say 2011-ish, 2011, 2012, around there. I opened up I started at a co-working space in Duluth, Georgia, and started teaching shoplifting classes. I only taught those classes. And then once I felt comfortable doing more stuff and adding more classes under my belt, then of course I got my credential, my alcohol and drug counseling credential. Then I started doing the evaluations, and then it just took off from there. Then five offices later, here I am today.
Wow, wonderful. Yeah, that is a journey, right? It's like the personal calling, right? Like from just real world lived experience to like, hey, this is maybe what I'm supposed to be doing, and pouring back into people who were coming behind you, maybe on the same path. That's awesome. Yeah. And you said you have 5 locations now, is that right?
Yes, yes. We have was it Jonesboro, Fayetteville, Lawrenceville, Duluth, Marietta.
Impressive. Awesome. Awesome. So here at Geeky Clinicians, you happen to get the three of us today that all actually have experience working in the field of drug and alcohol addiction. So all three of us, and both Jacinta and Sandra are certified anger management specialists. Jacinta is a certified grief specialist as well. And so we're just so excited to have you here and learn more about this aspect of the profession and what this looks like from your perspective. Guys, do you have any questions for Dr.
Yeah,
Derek?
hearing you talk, it just occurred to me that I have researched the Diversion Center in the past. And was at the time I was interested in doing the court mandated work, and it didn't occur to me that that's who you were until just now, till you started talking.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, yeah.
Small world.
And I do have a question. Can you share a moment when you realized that the work you were doing was making an impact?
Oh man, I got a couple of those moments. What I enjoy the most is when old clients come back to my office when they don't have to and say, "Hey, Derek, this is what I'm doing. I appreciate your classes," because sometimes you're doing group and you have those clients that are in group that are quiet and don't say much, but they're listening, but you don't know it. So sometimes I'll get one of those clients come back to my office randomly and they say, "Hey, Derek, man, I appreciate what you did for me." And I'm surprised because those are one of those clients that didn't say anything in group the whole time, but they're just sitting there sucking everything in and not saying anything. Of course, you call on them from time to time to get them to talk, because I just can't have anyone in there just being quiet. But there's some clients that are just very quiet and they're observant and they pay attention and they come back to my office and they say, "Hey, I just want to let you know I really appreciate what you did." And it catches me off guard, and I really appreciate it because sometimes when you're doing this work, you ask yourself, "Hey, am I really making a difference?" You pour all your heart into these people, and you give them everything you can, even though you might be going through personal stuff yourself, but you're pouring into people and you're giving everything you can to them. And sometimes you're like, okay, are they getting this? Or I hope they don't come back. Or unfortunately, sometimes we do have repeat offenders that do come back. And it's disappointing because I'm like, yo, what are you doing back? I told you not to, and you start questioning yourself like, hey, am I effective? This person that came to me 6 months ago is now back again. So you start questioning if you're actually effective. So when you get people that come back to you that say, "Hey, Derek, I appreciate you. It meant a lot to me." And relapse is a part of the addiction process. I get that, but when they come back and say, "Hey, I'm doing XYZ. I got a job now, or I started my business, or I got my life together. I got my GED," that means a lot to me. So I like those type of situations.
I want to piggyback off that question Jacinta asked, and you also kind of touched on it, is those that come back. How do you handle the disappointment of them coming back? And how do you set those boundaries to where it doesn't hurt as bad? Because I get it. I'm working with a client now, 8-year clean. I ran into her at an event. So do not go out and have a good time in Atlanta. You'll run into a client. And then I have one that is constantly relapse, and that hurts because we see what it is, but how do you not let it hurt as much?
Well, fortunately enough, I've learned to detach. I'm better now than I was years ago. And I tell myself it's not about me. I know if I did my best effort when working with the client, hey, I did my best. It's not about me because I can't control what other people do with their bodies outside of when I work with them. So I get it. I mean, look, I can't beat myself up because there's been times that I relapse, and I'm talking about relapse on diets. You know, I know y'all know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
That you're
Yep.
gonna eat
Yeah.
right and do the right thing, and then you back at dang Dunkin' Donuts and Krispy Kreme doing
Krispy
what I do
Kreme.
best. You know,
Krispy
so
In
Kreme.
a matter of minutes sometimes.
yeah. So I'm like, if I can't be hard on them because sometimes I can't even control myself with the food. So uh, I can imagine, heroin or meth or something. So uh, I detached myself and I realized that relapse is a part of the addiction process, and it is what it is. And I don't beat myself up as long as I know that I'm doing my best work and I'm putting in my best effort. Now, if I wasn't giving my best effort and I know I was slacking, I would feel guilty. But if I know that I'm doing my best and putting in the effort and really working with people, and the clients know, they know when you're trying your hardest, and your results will. I wouldn't get the results that I get if I wasn't doing good work. So I can sleep well at night every night because I know I put all into what I do because my reputation means everything to me.
Absolutely. And it's a very uh, it's an interesting, complex, and unique field to work in the field of addiction. And I love the words you used, justice related behaviors, right? Because it is so complex, and a lot of people can't do what you do, right? It does take a lot of uh, personal awareness, acceptance, action, that grounding, that grace, right? And seeing the client. Because when I started in the field of addiction, double digit years ago, I was taught if you can't look at that person across from you and honestly believe, there for the grace of God go I, then you shouldn't do this work with that client. So yeah. And I love how you said your reputation is valuable to you. So you really want to pour into the people that you're serving. Excellent.
I have another question. So, for someone who's fresh out of school and wants to get in the field, what would you recommend for them?
Immediately get a mentor.
Okay.
Immediately. Mentorship is like the cheat code. That's what I wish I had coming out of college. I tell people get a mentor immediately, even if you have to pay for one. Because that's the fastest way to get to where you want to be. It is the ultimate cheat code, in my opinion. And I would tell them to get certified and licensed in a niche immediately as fast as possible. Because my certifications have made me more money than my degrees have. So get extremely specialized. Try to get specialized in a niche that no one is even thinking about or even doing. For the longest, I've pursued things that most people are not even thinking about, not even looking at, or even know how to do. So, like when I first started my business, I was doing shoplifting classes. I was the only person that specialized in shoplifting addiction and actually trained in it for the longest. I was training other clinicians in it. At one period of time, I was going to go to polygraph school. I was going to learn how to do polygraphs because I was going to add polygraphs to my office and my services, but I didn't want to. At the time, I didn't want to commit 3 months of my time to it and leave my business. But I'm always looking for things like that, and that's what I tell people: look for niche areas that most people are not thinking about. Even in the evaluation space, I tell them, hey, you might want to consider doing vocational assessments. You might want to consider doing nexus letters. You might want to consider doing ESA letters, things that most people are not thinking about, high paying services that can help you end up taking care of yourself extremely well and set yourself up. And because there's a lot of clinicians out here. There's a lot of clinicians in private practice, and we want to do things that most people are not doing, and then turn around and learn how to advertise those services, because you can know how to do something, but if you don't know how to advertise it and if people cannot find you, they cannot pay you. So get a mentor ASAP, and get a mentor that's somewhere that's where you want to be. You want to get a mentor that's where not any mentor. You want to get a mentor that gets results, that's vetted and proven, because there's a lot of people out here that are making claims, but they're not really doing what they say that they're doing.
Are you mentoring?
Yes, I do have a mentorship program. But it's a paid mentorship program. My free days are over, unfortunately. Yeah.
Yeah.
I had a question though. You mentioned certifications,
Mhm.
and when Dr. Dantzler was introducing you, she named a lot of different certifications. There's a lot of alphabets behind your name, dude.
Yes.
How do those certifications work together?
They basically, that's an interesting question, because it all depends on which one you're talking about. Because there's even some that I did not list. How it works together, it just opens you up for opportunity. So what you want to do is you want to be attractive. So I tell people, whatever you do, be as attractive as you can. We don't want to chase, we want to attract. So my goal is to attract and not chase, because whatever you chase runs away from you.
Yes.
And I don't feel like chasing things and people and all that stuff. So I don't really chase stuff. Like, the days of me chasing are pretty much over. So I want people to look at me. So, can I say whatever I want on this podcast?
Sure.
So, pimps say, get chose with your mouth closed. So, you want to get chose with your mouth closed. So, uh, that's how you want to be. So, that's how you get chosen. Your certifications, your licenses put you in a position to where you get chose with your mouth closed. So, when people need certain evaluations, I get chose with my mouth closed because I'm one of the few people that know how to do it.
Can
And then
appreciate it.
also they pay a premium because fortunately, a lot of my clients wait to the last minute to get their stuff done. So if they need their stuff done same day, well, I charge a premium for that. And there's an extra fee if you need certain things done on the same day, last minute. So uh, my CADC has brought me a ton of money. So, and it provides you with a lot of opportunity. And it just shows people that you know what you're talking about. When they see all these different letters behind your name, or they're like, okay, this person knows he knows some stuff. I can trust him. There's credibility. And in the age of scammers, we got to make sure that we're in a situation where people can research us, because that's what they're going to do. They're going to research you. They're going to do the Google. They're going to do the Chat GPT. They're going to do the YouTube search. They're going to go on your LinkedIn and look up all your stuff to decide, okay, is this person legit or not? So I use those credentials as validation that show people that, hey, I do know what I'm talking about, and I can assist them if they need me.
Yes. And so I want to piggyback off of Jacinta's question. She asked specifically about the certifications, but you have like particular classes and trainings that align with each of those, right? Because I know that you mentioned that you have the gun violence classes, you have the shoplifting classes. Can you just walk us through all of the offerings that the Diversion Center has, or is that
Oh my
just too
goodness,
many?
it's a lot. So, all right, so we specialize in court mandated classes. So we do anger management, we do substance use. So we ASAM level 1. We do family violence, which is our domestic violence program. We do values clarification. We do MRT. We do parenting. We do shoplifting. We do victim impact panel. Of course, we offer alcohol and drug evaluations, CEAP evaluations, anger management evaluations, mental health evaluations, uh, Nexus letters, uh, ESA letters, bariatric evaluations. Is there anything I'm missing? We do have a gun violence certification and training that we offer. We have an anger management specialist training coming up at the end of August, where we train people to become anger management specialists. And then what else? We have a shoplifting training as well as a victim impact panel training. We have a ton of different trainings that we do, but we primarily specialize in court mandated evaluations and classes. And if anyone wants to learn how to provide those services, we provide that training too. So I have
Oh,
an
yeah.
academy where we train people, clinicians, how to do the same thing that I do. Because unfortunately, this field is gatekept, and a lot of people do not share this information because they know it can be profitable. But at the same time, I think over 100 providers shut down their offices during the pandemic. So there's a lot of opportunity there as well. So, um, you know, that's what I do.
Yes, lots and lots of opportunity. And I love how you said, there is a lot of there has been historically a lot of gatekeeping in this field. And I remember when I was a younger clinician and I was very much interested in either doing like a DUI school or doing something in like the CEAP area. You basically had to like Like it was like going on some Indiana Jones adventure to try to find the information, and it just felt like it was very much like this kind of closed system. So I love that you're making it accessible to more and more clinicians that want to diversify their offerings and their expertise. So that's really wonderful. So Derek, let me ask this question. What has been one of your biggest challenges along the way, either clinically or entrepreneurially as a business owner? Because you're both, or you could give me one of each.
Man, I got so many answers for that. It's not even funny. There's so many. Uh, Dang, that's a good question. Let me think. Let me think, because there's so much I want to say.
No rush, we got time. We here.
I'll say this. So a lot of people struggle with imposter syndrome.
Let me mute.
So one of the things that I dealt with when I first started was believing that I was actually good enough. I knew that I was good enough. I knew that inside of me, I knew I was really good. I knew I was good enough because I've already proven it to all the different DUI schools that I contracted at. I knew that I was good enough, but when I got on my own, I was scared to death because I didn't have a mentor. I didn't know if I was doing things right. When the probation officer would call my office, I'd be scared to death. And then he's like, "Hey, we got your certificate," and my heart is beating a million miles an hour. And he said, "Hey, I got your certificate. Hey, can we add you to our provider list?" And I'm like, "Yeah," because I'm thinking the whole time I'm in trouble because I got that imposter syndrome going, you know. And one of the reasons why I use cocaine is because I was self-medicating because I had issues with depression. So I'm a person, I'm not doing cocaine anymore. You know, I'm dealing with confidence issues. I'm dealing with self-esteem issues because that's what a lot of men don't talk about, self-esteem. So I love to talk about that with my guys when we're in therapy. So I got that going on. I've been clean for a while, and I'm trying to do this new thing that's making me stretch. So getting past that phase was awesome, and doing the work and then seeing my practice build and grow, that helped. But then the other part was dealing with people looking at me like I wasn't qualified.
Hmm.
That's the thing that still bothers me a little bit to this day. Um, Meeting with certain people, the microaggressions, the looks, the stares, the comments, the I even recently dealt with something yesterday on TikTok questioning if I was even licensed or certified to actually do the work that I do. I'm like, man, I've been doing this for 15 years now. I got over 20 books I've written, and I'm the founder of the National Association of Court-Approved Treatment Providers, and got this big old organization, and yet you're questioning me. So dealing with nonsense like that uh, is problematic for me. But I tell people at the same time, I don't ask for permission, I ask for forgiveness. So that's a principle that I live by. Um, I practice brave thinking. So I do things even though I'm scared. So, because we're not promised tomorrow, I ask myself, how many summers do I have left?
Hmm.
So I better make it happen now. So the time of second guessing, I'm not a procrastinator at all.
No.
I'm a huge risk taker. So, you know, one of the biggest problems I will say that I've struggled with as a business owner, and I tell my clients this, my coaching clients this, I say, don't go broke trying to get rich.
Hmm.
Because I've gone broke trying to get rich. chasing, once again, chasing instead of attracting. Stop chasing, attract. So I know I said a lot, but I hope that answered your question.
Oh, absolutely. Thank you so much for sharing that. That hit me on so many different levels, from we have to do our personal work in order to show up for the people we serve. And that level of self-awareness and authenticity, I mean, thank you so much. Yeah. I'm sure all the people that you serve and work with feel that and can connect with you on that, which is probably, speaks to your numbers of how successful you are. I mean, it's just so clear. So I really appreciate that. Yeah. Guys, do you have questions?
I hope it's okay if I ask this question, Dr. D, because I'm just like sitting, you already know what I'm doing. I work in accountability courts and I'm sitting on pins and needles. I get your emails all the time. And it's ironic when Dr. D said you were going to be our podcast guest this week. I was like, what? Are you kidding me? Shut everything down so I can be here today. I have to ask this question. So, the assessments that you use, and I know you do total training for that. Which do you recommend for the accountability course to you for a clinician to use? Because I'm getting ready to do relapse prevention training in September, but I also know I need to strengthen more in doing the assessments that they would like to have. So, yeah.
It's funny you bring this up. I'm actually 80% done with the evaluation manual that I'm creating.
Oh, wow.
So, how to write substance use evaluations for beginners.
Oh,
Uh,
wow.
Wow.
it's in the works. It's almost done. Because I would like to create stuff that I was looking for when I started,
Yeah.
and there was nothing there. And I was like, man, I need to learn how to do these evaluations. Like I'm trying to figure this out. And there wasn't much training or information on how to do them, or even much coaching. So I'm in the process of making it's almost done. So I need to get busy this weekend and try to finish it. I also have an evaluation training as well on my website, but um, I use the MAS and the DAS. You can use a DENS ASI
Okay.
software. I know that's what a lot of people would use. Herdman Health has a software
Okay.
that you can put the data into and it spits out the report for you. So I'm big on using software and tools and automation, excuse me, to assist with the evaluations. Um, you do not have to work hard anymore to write these evaluations. The days of typing the evaluations are over because there's so many different tools. You got DENS ASI, you got Herdman Health, you got the Staxi, which is for the anger management evaluations. So, um, and then you got some other stuff too. So, one of the things that you can also do that I used to teach my people that work for me. We have templates. We use templates as well. So if you have a already template already created, it's already in case presentation format. It already has a biopsychosocial on there, and you're just punching in the data. You're just putting in the data. You fill in the blanks, so you don't have to spend 2 and 3 hours typing up an assessment. That you should not take two. In my opinion, it should not take, especially if you do a lot of them and you do them all day, every day. And you've been doing them for years. It should not take you long to figure stuff out. Pretty much most people are coming for the same stuff. If you've been doing it for some years, you already have a system. So that's why I tell people it's very important to have a system that you
Okay.
follow every single time.
Okay.
So before I even see a client, I already have their assessment, I already have their assessment scores, I already have their data. And before they even meet with me, I already know all their information. So then when I meet with them, I'm just doing a clinical interview. I'm looking at their scores. I'm asking them questions. I'm asking them about the biopsychosocial and then filling in the evaluation and typing up the evaluation while I'm meeting with them. And I'll put it to you this way. There's no right or wrong way to do an evaluation. You just have to find the way that works for you and that makes
Okay.
sense for you. And
Okay.
once you have your system, stick to it. And then once you get good at your system, they're going to just pump out really fast. Your evaluation is going to get knocked out. So I'm not sure how many evaluations you're getting in drug court.
So I'm actually in family treatment court in
Okay.
2 different counties. And so one county they do their own, but the other county I come in whenever they get a new participant that's interested. And I'll do I forgot the assessment they're using, but it's through CACJ. So yeah. And I'm
Um,
trying to do get that treatment plan and that relapse prevention plan to a T to help, but then also the resistance from the participants
mhm.
on that aftercare piece, that relapse prevention piece. So one of the things I always add in is, okay, you gotta have a support system. What is that gonna look like? Is that an AA meeting? Is it therapy? Is it this? Is it that? Talk to me, work with me, help me get you in a situation where it's something that you can follow and commit to for you, not for me, but for you. And sometimes there it's easier than most because they feel like once they finish the program, I'm done. I don't have to do anything else. And that's not true. You have to stay diligent in your recovery. And what that looks like for you, you have to decide. And I'm just that tool to help you say, okay, I see the success in this. So let me help with that. So, but yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, invite me over one day. Let me take a look at your stuff to see what you got going on. I would love to come out there and see what you got going on and potentially collaborate with you guys and see if I can give some insight that you guys may have not seen before or because I don't want you overworking yourself.
Yes. And we'd love that. I'd absolutely love that. And we'll definitely get something on the calendar. I have two questions, kind of follow up. So in terms of like the anger management evaluations, and some of the other evaluations, what does one need to have to qualify to use those and execute? That's my first question.
So you need to be a licensed clinician or a certified alcohol and drug counselor if you're going to do substance abuse evaluations, in my opinion. Uh, that's that's what you need to do the evaluations and assessments.
Okay. So our pre-licensed people, right? Because we have a program here at 3D Psychotherapy, our postmaster's residence program. It's where they get those 3,000 hours. So we take them from graduation to full licensure. Can our PMRPs execute on the evaluations, or can they just do like the trainings? Like how can I best leverage and fill my PMRPs if I decided to use some of these clinical approaches?
Oh, so basically what you do is have them do them and you sign off on all of them. You will review them as their clinical supervisor and sign off on every one of them.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Jacinta's our clinical supervisor. So
There you
she
go.
can do some of them. Okay.
There you
Excellent.
go.
Good to
There you
know.
go. Yeah.
All right.
So
So yeah.
I have another question.
Yes.
And I guess we could question you all day, it looks like. Um, when you are mentoring or teaching classes in court mandated um, justice, what do you call it?
Justice
Um,
involved.
justice involved, court mandated. Um, are you looking for a mind shift to move somebody from just learning what they take away from the class and actually making the serious, like, six-figure incomes?
Hold on. Are you talking about the clinicians that I work with?
Yes.
Can you repeat the questions? I want to make sure I understand it properly.
So as a clinician, if I come and take courses to do well, I'm certified in anger management. If I want to do anger management, shoplifting, um, and let's say gun related. And so I'm taking these classes. Is there a mind shift that needs to happen to go from being a clinician that offers these things to someone, to that person that you're saying is chaste?
Oh my goodness, that is a wonderful question. Absolutely, there's a huge mind shift that needs to take place. Okay, man, you made me lean back. Yes, it's a huge mind shift. All right, let me get into it. So, let me ask you a question. I'll start with this question. This is for everyone. Um, if I gave you 100 grand, $100,000 in exchange for $10,000, would you give it to me?
Is that all I'm getting?
Yeah, I give you $100,000, but you gotta give me $10,000.
Oh yeah.
You said
If
that quick.
you're giving me 100,000 and all I got to give you is 10,000? Yeah,
Yes,
absolutely.
you would.
Hmm.
No problem. Why would you take that deal?
Because you're giving me 100,000 and the 10,000 that I'm giving you is only what's that, 10%?
Absolutely. Unfortunately, most people don't see that. What do I mean by that?
I know exactly what you mean.
I say, hey, come get coached by me, pay me $10,000. I'll show you how to make at least 100 minimum. Oh man, I don't know. I don't know. You spent 40 grand, 50 grand for a college degree that didn't give you anything, didn't promise you no kind of return on
Mhm.
investment, no money. You're out here stranded in these streets right now. Then I'll ask them, I say, hey, if I take $10,000 from you right now, will it break you? Meaning, will you be in the street? Will you be homeless? Will you not be able to recover? They'll say, no, it won't break me. It's only $10,000. I said, all right, let's flip it. What if I give you $10,000? Will it make you? They're like, no, it's only $10,000. I could blow through that quick. Then why are you holding on to the 10 grand that will free you up? That will help you make 100, at least 100 year after year for the rest of your career. We have to shift them from employee mentality to boss mentality. Bosses, we're looking at the situation like, all I gotta do is give you 10. That's it. All I got, all I gotta do is give you 20 because I paid $30,000 for a mastermind that was only for 1 year.
Yeah.
That's one mastermind. That's not the other ones that I'm signed up in. I'm in another one right now that's 7,000. And when you're a boss, when you're an entrepreneur, you're going to have to pay for, or not pay, but invest in your
Invest.
business and
Yes.
people. I have payroll I'm responsible for. I have rents that I'm responsible. I got 5 rents I got to pay
Mm-hmm.
every month.
Yep,
Just
just
business
paid the rent
related
today.
rents,
Mhm.
business rent, payroll, uh, all kinds of stuff. My personal stuff. So you have to circulate money. Okay. You have to invest money and try to get people to understand that they want to learn everything for free. They know the cost of everything and know the value of nothing.
Yeah. Oh, you just dropped a nugget.
So you got to understand the value of things. So that's what I deal with, trying to coach people and say, hey, it took me years to learn this stuff. I ain't gonna give it to you for free 99.
Exactly,
Right.
exactly.
And I tell people I can show you better than I can tell you. I can show you my Stripe account. You can pull up to one of my offices and see. And I'm like, yo, you gotta invest in yourself and know. But they value this college framework or this system more than they value specialized knowledge from entrepreneurs that are actually doing it and doing it on a high level. And once they're able to get past that, I understood this from a long time ago. So I've never been spending averse. So I never understood people that were like tight with their money. My dad, he was cheap. So growing up with him, I was like, man, I can't wait till I become an adult because I can't deal with all this cheap stuff. I'm gonna spend my money. And because I believe that life is meant to be lived. And I say, hey, I don't exist. I live my life and I design my life. So I need to design my life, and I'm not going to just exist out here in these streets. So I need to make sure that I need to make sure that things are happening. So I'm sorry, I'm stumbling over my words because I'm getting excited because you brought up something that is near and dear to my heart because that's one of the biggest problems, the mindset. And I tell them the people that come to my VIP day and my CEO day, and I say, hey, we got to change this whole mindset. We gotta get you out of your comfort zone because you're addicted to comfort. And I tell people all the time, one of the most addictive things in the world is comfort. And I got to pull you out of that comfort zone because your comfort zone is keeping you broke.
Mm-hmm.
And you got to stretch and you got to listen to somebody that's actually doing it. And then when you go tell them to do something, I say, hey, go right. They go left. I didn't tell you to go left. I told you to go right.
Yes.
If it worked your way, it would have been working a long time ago.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Just listen. Just do what I say. Do what I say. It will work.
There's a saying that the comfort zone is a beautiful place, but nothing grows there.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Excellent. I mean, we definitely could probably ask you a gazillion more questions. So I think all that means is we definitely need a part two.
So I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this before we go to the listeners that are listening or watching this. Make sure you're not one of these three things. If you want to be rich, don't be stupid, arrogant, or lazy.
Yeah.
Okay. I had to deal with this. I said, I know I ain't stupid. I know I'm not lazy, but maybe I'm arrogant. Arrogant to believe that I know everything. No, I don't know everything.
No.
So that's usually one of the blocks
that's
stopping people from getting to where they need to be.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So Derek, let me ask you this. It's something we ask all of our guests here at Geeky Clinicians Podcast. What are your best hopes? What are your best hopes for our profession, our field, the work that we do? What are your best hopes for the future, for future Geeky Clinicians?
My hope for geeky clinicians is to believe in yourself even when you don't believe and when there's no evidence that others believe. You have to be your biggest cheerleader. Practice self-talk. You want to be that person that practice what you preach. And sometimes you need to tap into that alter ego. You guys are geeky clinicians. Embrace that. Know that you have value and you're geeky. And embrace the identity because, some of us are living our lives based off the identity that we have for ourselves. So not to be long-winded, but one of the things I tell my clients, have you guys ever heard of a method actor?
Yeah.
Method acting, like Heath Ledger from Batman. He embraced that role so much that he went crazy. They say he went crazy. So you might want to do a little bit of method acting. Sometimes you need to act your way to success. So I'll just
Absolutely.
leave it at that.
Oh, thank you so much, Dr. Derek. This has been such a wonderful conversation. So many good nuggets. So for our viewers, if anybody wants to get in contact with Dr. Derek Collins or purchase any of his books or attend any of his classes, all of his contact information will be in the show notes. And we will have him back for a part 2, hopefully in the future. And so again, if you haven't already, like, subscribe, and share this episode with other clinicians. All right, guys, we'll see you next time.